Okay. Hey there, Laura Ahava here, priestess, shamaness, coming at ya. Yeah, it just feels right to have a towel on my head. I often seem to make recordings when I'm driving in my car or whatever with the towel on my head. It just seems to be a thing that feels good. I do like to have showers and baths and jump in the water, fresh water or ocean water. I love water. So my skin looks so shiny. I mean, this camera's a little bit blurry, but it definitely is a really shiny skin. Okay, so and that's why I really take care of my skin. I love myself. I really do. I really love taking care of myself. It's really important for my vitality and for my health and wellness so that I can be loving to everyone and everything because I love myself. So that's what I'm going to speak about today because that's just what's coming through. Love yourself. What does that mean? Oh my gosh. Self-care. Is primary, is so important. And I know it's all over the internet and memes and spiritual things, love yourself, self-care. Right? Well, it's true. It is actually true. So why is it so hard for people? Like why are there continuous self-sabotaging patterns? And why do we choose other things? Why do we choose fear? Why do we choose all the things that are not love? So we'll just go right into that. Well, everyone's going to have a different reason and a different story. Got this hair that's just poking out. It's like an antenna. Until you own how powerful you are, you will continuously make up excuses and reasons why you are choosing to not love yourself. Okay? Where does your power source from? Where is your power, your greatest power, hiding? Well, let's have a look here. Is it in my teacup? I don't know. Is it maybe in my daily planner? Scheduled for 11 a.m. on week 2. Nope. Maybe... Aha. The purse. Everything is in a purse. Must be in the wallet. Money, power, No. Oh, but maybe it's in the card. No. It's in the computer. Zoolander. It's in the computer. Ooh. No. See this water flowing? If I was to put a block on the tip of that and then tried to pour it, nothing would come out. If there was a bunch of gunk and this tea mug if this piece wasn't there to hold down the leaves, then all the leaves would be pouring out. And it would just be, I wouldn't be getting the flow. This is there to separate, right? So that there can be flow. So what does this piece represent? It represents a holding of what's not needed so that water can flow. Okay, so what's not needed so that your power can be revealed, so that water can flow? Well, whatever's in the way that you've put there in your way actually resides your power. What? What I'm saying is within those places that you have feared, in those places within yourself that have been causing pain and turmoil and distraction and emotional, mental, physical. Usually there's the physical component that is completely interrelated with our mental and emotional being. And your spirit is like just calling you to come home to your truth of who you are. So what are those pieces in the way? Well, let's look at patterns. What are you experiencing? Anxiety? Are you experiencing fears? What are they? And we go into to those places with curiosity and with love and with gentleness and compassion, because progression doesn't necessarily have to be something that is forward moving. Time isn't always linear. Sometimes progression is stepping back a bit and slowing down. First, meeting yourself fully where you are, all of you. And from there, what we do, surprisingly, I don't have it in my purse, a mirror. A mirror. Which is what I can be right now for you. A mirror. Holding up a mirror. Everything is a mirror. So you can see yourself. And when you're fully willing to see yourself, what is in the way, what is holding you back from your greatest power, has your greatest power right there. And understanding the conditioning of these deep-seated wounds are actually patterns and programs. Okay, so what patterns are repeated again and again are repeated through habitual ways of coping, right? Oh boy, do we all know those ways of coping? Yeah. You know what I'm saying. I don't know what this kind of voice accent is, but maybe it's a way of coping. There's different ways of coping. Oh my goodness. Cope, 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 cope. Kind of runs with hope, but it's not. So, different ways of coping can be the result of all those ways that we're not loving ourselves. It doesn't mean that we don't love ourselves. It just means that in the moment we're being pulled, we're giving our power away to something that isn't actually loving ourselves. And that's most of the time what is the root of not loving ourselves, because we are taken by our own distractions. Okay, they can come in forms of addiction, through anything, digital, food, sex. There's healthy addictions, and then there's also non-healthy addictions. You can get into drugs, and you can be an addict in the gym. There's different ways of coping. And so without judging and wronging, we just recognize, okay. And it's like avoiding every single possible way to get around to being exactly what is there, what is so deeply calling you. And then there's this point of just like, oh, I'm exhausted. I've run all through this hamster wheel, going in circles. I've tried this, I've tried that. I've been to this healer, I've been to that doctor, I've been to this thing, and then still at these same things. Or maybe there's some moments of relief because there are so many amazing tools that people have that can support coping. So just tuning in. Now, I can only share what I share through my experience. Okay? So I can provoke you, I can poke you, I can stoke you, I can yoke you, but ultimately you have to do you. You have to listen to your truth. You have to do your work. You have to do the work. And yeah, and that's my jam. I can't, I can say and suggest, and ultimately, I'm not a doctor, but I'm a shamaness who is only speaking through her own rites of passages in myself. And yeah. Okay, so what feeling, tuning. Okay. So in all that said, what does that look like? You could go to the mirror and be like, show me the money. Well, you can have provokers that provoke you, right? You can have cheerleaders that are cheering you on, and then you do the work. Okay, so there's homework, homework involved, and however you are able and willing is where you will be met. So from here, there's certain things that I am super passionate about, is taking care of all your bodies. So as you first saw, this glowing skin and towel, I had showered and oiled and taking care of the physical body, and simultaneously taking care of the emotions and mental and spiritual. So when and harmonizing and balancing it all, right? So if you're having any sort of physical symptoms, the work that I've specifically been guided to in my own healing journey has started with the colon. It continues to be a maintenance and temple keeping and caretaking of the colon. And the other pieces for me have been through injuries. I used to compete highly in sports and had injuries of really hurting my body, and brought me into states of deep healing. So all that said, it's like, where do you begin? Well, begin by saying yes. You're saying yes to loving yourself. That's the first step. And then from there, well, you're already rolling, because simply you start with the intention and your will. You got to align your physical, mental, emotional bodies all to be in participation and activating your will, your core, the center of your wheel, so that whatever you do, it's supported by your decision, by your choice. Remembering the truth of who you are and trusting the process and the progress with compassion and love, and cultivating wisdom through the process, because you've got medicine. You are everything. You are the shaman. You are the priestess, whatever. You are the gift. And I'm simply here to remind you to access you. Because I love you. Because I love me. So that's all that I will share for now. I'm excited to go into all the tools and ways of detoxification and purification and holding self, and bringing in humor and humility for the highest, for your highest to be, for love, to serve love. And that's all for now. A hui ho for all of my relations.